Lawmakers will be tackling several issues in the session, including the education budget.
News 19 State Capitol reporter Maddie Biertempel joining us now live down in Montgomery with political analyst Steve Flowers on what we can all expect this session. Maddie?
Good evening. That's right. They gavelled in and gavelled out pretty quickly today, and that's because we are expecting to hear about a special session tonight from the governor. And joining me now is political analyst Steve Flowers to talk a little bit about that possibility. Steve, what are you hearing about a special session?
I'm hearing the first thing she's going to address in her speech tonight is she's going to call a special session within the parameters of the regular session, which should last 2 weeks, from March 7th today to March 21st. A special session can last 10 legislative days, 14 calendar days, so she's planning on that. Kay's always been very cognizant of not calling a special session outside the time of the regular session in order to save money, I think, for the state. But there's a lot of money in that ARP money, and so it needs to be addressed separately, which they're going to do. It'll probably go for capital improvement. There's $1 billion of federal money that the state's got to appropriate. Fortunately, the state of Alabama has been very prudent in their finances. Therefore, there's a surplus in the regular education budget and trust fund budget and the general fund. So they've got 3 budget surpluses, if you want to know the truth about it. So it may be an easy session.
And speaking of those budget surpluses, looking at $2 billion extra dollars to work with, do you think Alabamians will see any of that money back?
That's going to be one of the questions that we'll see if she poses it tonight. There have been some legislative leaders, primarily Senator Arthur Orr from Decatur, who is chairman of the Finance, Taxation, Education Budget Committee. He's talking about that. And we have a very veteran Senate. Senator Orr's been there a long time. He knows a lot about the Senate process. And there's an old saying in Alabama politics that the governor proposes, but the legislature disposes. They control the purse strings, and this is a veteran Senate group. Now, not so much true of the House. There are 35 new members in the House. 1/3 of the House is turned over. But the veteran Senate may decide to do something, whether she says she wants to do it or not.
And speaking more broadly, what do you want to hear from the governor in her State of the State tonight?
Well, specifically what she specifically wants to do with the ARP money, the federal money. But even more than that, she said, beginning with her inaugural address over here in January, she wants to make this the education session. So I think people are waiting to see exactly what she's talking about when she says education. Like you said, there's a $200 million surplus in the education budget. Now, most people are assuming that means vouchers or school choice. We'll see. I think she will address that tonight. I think that she's indicated she wants to make education a hallmark issue of this term.
All right, thanks so much, Steve. We'll have to take a look at what she says tonight. And coming up at 6, we'll hear from some of those lawmakers on what that money could be going for in that ARPA package. For now, reporting in Montgomery, Maddie Biertempel, News 19.
All right, Maddie, thank you. Of course, this